You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events most of all. Thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And there is a lot to celebrate today. We enjoy our celebrations each morning on Ron Siegel Radio. And days like this, it's tough for me to pick just one. So today being National Delaware Day, I wasn't going to pick that one. And Cow Appreciation Day. I wasn't going to pick that one either. Little fatulation joke there. I don't want to get into that at all. That's a stinky joke. Oh man, yeah. Okay, but there are a couple that we will go with. Today is National Beans and Franks Day. That's a good one. We can take that. And even better than that one, National French Fry Day. Now, where do you get the best French fries? I've got my choices. Where you get, and what are you dipping them in? That's the bigger question. What is your choice for putting French fries in? My kids seem to like ranch dressing. That's their item of choice. To me, having beaten anorexia, ranch dressing, barbecue sauce, ketchup, almost anything else as long as there is the French fries. And I'm going to look good seasoning salt on there. That's a key ingredient to it. Hey, let's take a look at the markets. Dow Jones now down 23 points. S&P 500 down up 5.75. NASDAQ up 64.37. Oil up another 64 cents a barrel. It's getting painful when you go to the gas pumps here. Now, I don't know. Let's take a look and see gasoline here in Southern California. We're looking around. Think about this one. Now, almost all of the West Coast is on the highest end of the spectrum. But obviously, we know it. California takes the cake here. $4.31 a gallon on average. Out there in Josh's land, it's about $3.80 a gallon. So you guys are much better off than I am here. 276.8. That would not be California. That's Mississippi. Now, I'm just looking at areas where our team is located. So our brilliant underwriter, she's at $2.80 a gallon. Think about that, $2.80 a gallon. She's in Louisiana. And we're here at $4.31 a gallon here in the Golden State. Actually, I guess it's a char brown state now. It used to be Golden State, but with as hot as it's been, I don't know, we might even be battling with Las Vegas on heat right now. It's pretty warm out here, triple digits most areas. And we're going to continue that way. A year ago, gasoline here in California, $3.12 a gallon. So we're $1.20 a gallon higher than we used to be. Ow! Yeah. But hey, something, that's just the way it is. As we say it all the time,
It is what it is.
Yeah. So what are we going to do about it? There's not a whole heck of a lot we can do as long as we stay here. We just have to endure not a little bit late to deal with getting an electric. Wait a second. Can't even get an electric vehicle anymore because no electricity. And did you hear this one? This is fascinates. Well, this is a little bit of a dirty joke, so I'm going to get on it right here. And don't worry, you don't have to hit the mute button. But think about this one. We had 17 million gallons of sewage dumped in the ocean yesterday. 17 million gallons. And they say, why did that happen? Well, apparently there was a power outage at the sanitation dump. So they had to, the sewage goes out into the ocean. Maybe we can get some power plants before we keep going with all this electric. Now, I'm all for the environment, although I'm not sure dumping 17 million gallons of sewage is environmentally sound. That's probably not a good idea. And as you know, if you've been a longtime listener of Ron Siegel Radio, I have had some fire chiefs come on the broadcast and talk about our wildfires here in California and the fact that maybe had we been doing some controlled burns, we wouldn't have quite the problem with the wildfires out here. We would still have wildfires, but the dead brush could be controlled and cleaned in a safe way. But, something we've got to make sure that we don't burn any of that until it's a wildfire. Now, does that make any sense to anybody? I mean, it confuses the heck out of me, right? I mean, why in the world we have these wildfires which can burn houses and businesses and everything else and burn the good vegetation, yet we won't have a controlled burn because it's bad for the environment. I'm a simple guy. Please help me out with that one. I don't know how that correlates, how that can be logical, but that is what we get from the environmental protection, the supposed Environmental Protection Agency. And yes, we do want to make sure our environment is safe, but I don't know about dumping fuel out there or sewage in the ocean, how that's safe. Moving right along, let's see. Ted Cruz in the news blasting the Biden administration's tweet and reports of fierce crackdown in Cuba. Interesting. Apparently, the Cubans have taken care of the problem, they say. And their wording is, those who have been arrested or worse got what they had coming to them. Really? Is that really the issue? They got what they had coming to them. But it's dealt with according to what they had to say. Moving right along, let's see what else we've got in the issue. J.D. Vance mocks Kamala Harris. Ridiculous take on rural America. We talked about that one yesterday a little bit, that rural America, they don't have access to cell phones, so they can't take a picture of their ID. This was voter suppression. Speaking of voter suppression, how do you like this? So the Texas legislature, now they've got a part-time legislature. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. If California had a part-time legislature, we'd probably be better off. But I digress. Texas has a part-time legislature. They're called back into special session to deal with some items they didn't get done. And during the special session, so they don't have to go to work, what do some of the legislators do? They get on a private jet. They're all Democrats. Get on a private jet and go to Virginia, Washington, D.C. So they don't have to go to work. Just fascinating how that's how their rules work over there. So some of the items that needed to have special attention, the Democrats are missing in action. Really.
What's the big idea?
Yeah, I don't know what the big idea is. They just figured that was the way to deal with it. Unbelievable. We're going to get into that. We'll talk more about it, see what are they going to do about that? How do they deal with that in Texas? I don't think that they're going to have a shootout at high noon. That's probably not the way it's going to be dealt with in the Lone Star State. Cost of living registers its biggest rise since 2008. CPI data show as inflation spreads through the economy, yet they're getting some bad information in there. Maybe the inflation numbers are higher than they thought. We'll talk about that in the Mortgage Minute in just a couple of minutes. Hey, we got a great broadcast lined up for you today. One of the things that I get most commonly asked is credit questions. So we're going to talk a lot about credit today. How about 6 myths about marriage and credit? We'll get into that. We've got a real-time real estate story for you. We'll chat a little bit about that one as far as why this isn't your typical summer housing market. Featured home brought to you by my favorite lender.net, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Building your future wealth starts now. Take action and put your money to work for you instead of working for your money. Are you sitting on $100,000 of home equity? Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 02059058.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com. Are you a military veteran, first responder, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, then you're a Ron Siegel VIP hero, and you may qualify for rewards up to $5,000 to $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with a Ron Siegel Radio partner. As a valued VIP hero, you receive special savings, rebates, and valuable discounts. Learn more by calling me, Ron Siegel, at 1-800-306-1990 or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. It's just our way of saying thank you.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Ryan, glad to have you with us. Where do you do your handyman servicing? What areas are you covering? Put that right there in the chat. We will throw it up there and see if we can find some folks that might need handyman services. I don't know, Ryan, but I appreciate you putting that in there. Hey, if you're watching us, RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, I'm not sure which it is. Twitch? Okay, Josh is telling me it's Twitch. I'm not that, I'm a simple guy, so I haven't figured that one out yet. Hey, but put a comment in there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like. That way, or subscribe to us, and then you can hit the bell. And that'll actually tell you when we go live on broadcast, but make sure you put some comments in there. We try and answer anything that comes up that makes sense. We do get some people that put some comments in there that we have to remove just because, and not a whole lot of logic to them, or they're trying to sell something that doesn't make much sense. Let's look at the mortgage minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. Dow Jones now down 39 points. NASDAQ up 64.43. We're looking at the S&P 500 is up 612. 10-year Treasury flat, zero change from yesterday. Mortgage-backed securities are down 2 basis points. It's a little bit misleading, and I'll tell you why in a minute. NFIB, that's the small business organization. So they came out with their optimism index. It increased by 2.9 in June to 102.5, which was above expectations of 99.2. Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation on the consumer level, was reported at 0.9% above expectations of 0.5% and increased by 0.4% to 5.4% year over year, exceeding the 5% estimate. Core CPI rate, which strips out food and energy, increased by 0.9% for June and increased by 0.7% to 4.5%, which was above expectations of 4%. Inflation running a bit hot, as we've been telling you right along. What does that mean? Why do we worry about that? Well, that can have a direct impact on what the Federal Reserve does. And what are they going to start increasing interest rates? Are they going to start tapering their bond purchases? So we'll be watching all of that for you. But let's talk a little bit about the mortgage-backed securities, because it is an important component of what we do all the time on Ron Siegel Radio, especially if you're thinking about buying, selling, refinancing, getting out of debt using some of your home equity. Well, the bonds are a 30-year. If you're getting a 30-year fixed rate loan, basically that loan expires in 30 years. So we have to adjust the mortgage-backed security right around this time every month to adjust for that finite nature of what the bond does. Now, on the flip side, as I was chatting with you earlier, Consumer Price Index, that measures inflation on a consumer level. And I gave you the numbers there. Core reading, again, strips out food and energy. Well, the 4.5% increase on that core rate, that's the highest year-over-year increase in 29 years. So will that pressure the Federal Reserve? This could speed up their timeline on tapering as well as rate hikes. Question is, are they going to increase rates before you take action? Don't know. Rents rose 0.2% in June, increasing by only 1.9% on a year-over-year basis. Owners' equivalent rent rose 0.3% in June and 2.3% year-over-year. But it's flawed. It's a survey which asked the homeowner the question, quote, if someone were to rent your home today, how much do you think it would rent for monthly, unfurnished and without utilities, unquote. How many people do you think have a real good handle on how much their home is going to rent for on a monthly basis with utilities and furniture? You're not, are you checking the neighborhood all the time to see about that? I'm going to suggest most people are going to say, okay, here's what I pay for it. Maybe they add a little bit to that, how long they've owned it, and that might be their number. So it is on the flawed side. So we're always watching out for that one to see, is it legitimate? And that's a big part of that Consumer Price Index number. According to a new report from the National Association of Realtors, construction of long-term housing fell 5.5 million units short of historical levels over the past 30 years. To address the issue, the report shows that over 2 million housing units would need to be added per year. Building has picked up, but even if building were to continue at the current pace, it'd still take more than 20 years to close the 5.5 million unit housing gap. This means that inventory levels will remain tight for the foreseeable future. CoreLogic, they released their loan performance insights showing that loans 30 days or more past due improved from 4.9% to 4.7% in April. 90 days plus also saw an improvement from 3.5% to 3.3%. Foreclosures remained at a very subdued 0.3%. Not a lot of foreclosures going on out there. That's good news. We don't want to see people going into foreclosure. Not a lot of logic in going to foreclosure. So that's just a thought process for you to kind of get an idea of where the market is going. So that is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, I get this all the time, and I wanted to share this with you. And we usually will do this in a Your Credit Matters segment. So maybe we'll just call this Your Credit Matters. So one of the items that I hear most frequently, that I get most frequently from people, is they don't want their credit run because it's going to hurt their FICO score. So let me share something with you about that, because it is a bit of, I don't know the right term, so I'm not going to even try. But here's the issue. Credit inquiries does affect your FICO score, but it's the most minimal of all the items that go into the algorithm to determine your score. Credit inquiries account for 10% of your score. 10%. So that's not a major part of the score. Like I say, out of the 5 areas that affect your score, credit inquiries, that's basically what comes from new credit. That accounts for 10%. So when you look at your FICO score running from a 300 range, from 300 to 850, that's a 550 point spread there. So your FICO score at worst can account for 55 points. Now, if you have an 850 FICO score and you take off 55, that puts you at 795. That's a great, I think they call it on their terms, excellent rating. Not going to stop you from getting any kind of a loan. There's other things that could stop you from getting a loan. But if you had a 795 FICO score, that's not going to stop you from any loan that you want to get from a scoring standpoint. Now, what are the items that are the other part of that? First off, you need to know, if you get several inquiries in a short period of time in the same industry, so what that would mean is auto or mortgage. Credit cards don't fall into that, but auto and mortgage, if you get numerous inquiries in a short period of time in auto and in mortgage, that's what they call in the algorithm, it's called buffering. It's good. They're saying you're being prudent. You're out there shopping. So you're not going to get a hit from that. Now, generally from what I see, it's going to take 10 to 12 inquiries in a 12-month period to affect your score in any significant way. Basically, an inquiry might cost you 2 to 5 points. That's what most of the experts tell us. 2 to 5 points for an inquiry. Does that matter? Generally not. Now, if you're right on the border, yeah, maybe it can matter, because if you're looking at a 680, if your middle score is 680 and you do an inquiry and it brings you down to 679, yeah, that can have a bearing on there. But for the most part, it doesn't have a whole lot of weight. And like I say, it is the most minimal of all the items. So if you're worried about your FICO score, I'm going to share with you, spend your effort on your payment history. That accounts for 35%. And the amounts you owe, that accounts for 30%. So between those two numbers, you're going to be looking at 65% of your score. And the vast majority of what's controllable there is your revolving debt, credit card debt. Installment debt is what it is, right? It's going to be a payment on something that's got a fixed term. So installment debt, it goes down over time, but you have a little more control over your revolving debt. And I should just throw this in there, because I do want to be factual. Your new credit accounts for 10%. The other item that accounts for just as minimal amount of your score is the credit mix. What is the credit mix? So that is, how many mortgages do you have? How many car payments do you have? How many credit cards do you have? How many student loans do you have? And do you have the right balance? One mortgage, 2 car, 3 credit card, that kind of issue. That's your credit mix. So both of those account for 10%. And just so we get the full amount, I did tell you 35% for your history, 30% goes into your credit utilization. We've talked about that many, many times, because 95% of the people pay their credit card bills the wrong way. And the other 15% goes to length of credit history. And when we talk a little bit about better outcomes and your mortgage, that credit history becomes an issue right there. So we'll talk about that as well. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, why this isn't your typical summer housing market. Myths about marriage and credit, and don't take your credit for granted during divorce. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
What's your plan to beat inflation and protect and build your future wealth? If you're not sure, and if you would like to learn the secret of building wealth by utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 02059058.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you own a luxury home or planning to purchase one? If so, your home may be your largest asset, but your mortgage may also be your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team is offering amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates in the 3%, and 15-year rates in the 2s. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com or call me directly. My number is 800-306-1990, licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Well, real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest 79564. Find that dream home. Why this isn't your typical summer housing market in real estate. It's normal to see ebbs and flows in the market. Typically, the summer months are slower paced than traditionally busy spring. But this isn't a typical summer. As the economy rebounds and life is returning to normal, the real estate market is expected to have an unusually strong summer season. Here's how the summer season is stacking up against the norm and what it means to you. Typical summer housing inventory declines after a spring peak, usually in June. This summer, inventories levels have been rising since February. Time on the market. The average time on the market lengthens during the summer. Time on the market is shorter than normal this spring. And price appreciation usually eases in a typical summer, and they're continuing to appreciate this summer. Inventory is increasing according to the latest existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors. Inventory levels have been rising since February this year. So if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart right now of monthly inventory levels, and there's a clear upward trend as shown in the green bars. Currently, there's roughly a 2.5 month supply of homes for sale. And while inventory is trending up as more houses are coming to the market, it's still much lower than several of the previous summers, as the orange bars show on the chart if you're looking at that with us. If you're looking to buy, some relief is on the way in the form of more homes coming to the market. Just remember, we still have less inventory than the norm, so be patient in your search. If you think of selling, now is the time. Work with your agent to list your house before there's more competition on the market. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. We will put you in touch with a great real estate agent. And remember, I don't sell real estate, but I have put together Team 53, which gets you listing to check in 53 days at the highest price of the market, or don't pay for it. Time on the market is still shorter than normal, unlike the typical summer trend. Time on the market is moving at the fastest speed we've seen since NAR started collecting this survey-based information in 2011. The most recent Realtors Confidence Index shows that the average home is on the market for just 17 days. And again, on the graph that's showing on our screens. And hey, don't forget, if you're listening to us while you're driving on the radio, you can go to Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel the numeral 1 on YouTube. We get the show posted generally about 6 o'clock in the evening every day, right about the same time that you might be hearing it, because we record it in the mornings. That's why you might hear some of me referring to what the markets are doing. So we record in the morning, send it out to our affiliated stations, and they can play that throughout the day. And I know that our friends over at ABC News and Talk KMET play our show 6 to 7 p.m. daily. So we appreciate you coming and listening to us right here. So now we're looking at average days on the market. If you're looking to buy, this means you need to be prepared to move fast. Brace for a quick pace, and rely on your agent to stay in the know on the available homes in your area. If you're thinking of selling, data shows your house will likely sell quickly. If you're worried about where you'll go once your house sells, consider a newly built home as a good way to move up. Price appreciation is still rising. The last big factor making this an unusually strong market this summer is home price appreciation. According to the State House Price Index from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, we're currently experiencing double-digit house price appreciation and have an average of 12.6% appreciation across the country. The graph that we're showing now shows data from NAR to show a more granular view of home prices have changed month to month over the past few years. The green bars, they show the current price appreciation we're experiencing today. Over current levels are well above what we've seen in recent summers, shown by the orange bars. Those are the recent summer months. And that's based on median home price for all housing types, national median home prices. So that's not just for us here in Southern California. If you're looking to buy, competition and bidding wars are driving prices up. Getting pre-approved, pre-underwritten can show the seller you're serious and help you know what you can afford once you do work with your agent to make a strong offer that stands out. If you're thinking of selling, seize this opportunity to use your additional equity from this price appreciation to power your next move. Maybe it's even buying a investment property. Might be good to take some equity out of your property now. Talk to our friends over at Realty Pro 100. Their Wealth Builder program helps with getting equity and building equity in your property. So bottom line, this is not a typical summer. Whether you're buying or selling, Let's chat. Let's get a game plan in place for you. See what makes sense for your family. Hey, all this stuff that we talk about on Ron Siegel Radio doesn't mean anything if you don't take action. And as I've shared with you many, many times, I've helped hundreds, maybe thousands of people refinance their homes, work on a debt plan, buy new homes, buy the right size property. And if we can't help you, we don't charge you. It's pretty simple. So why don't you call 800-306-1990? Very, very simple concept. That's the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. So I want to throw a bonus in here, a better outcome segment today. Don't take your credit for granted during divorce. That is our subject. While the majority of divorcing consumers have an understanding of credit, unfortunately, there are still those whose spouses, quote unquote, took care of all that stuff. And they truly do not have the experience of working with credit and bill paying. Understanding the makeup of your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. As you might expect, payment history is the most influential component, and this is followed closely by the amounts owed. To a lesser degree, the length of time that you've utilized credit, the number of new accounts or inquiries may have the various types of credit accounts that you hold will have an impact on your score. The overall importance of any of these factors can be further influenced by the entirety of the information contained in your consumer credit report. As such, certain patterns, occurrences, or items can be measured differently depending on any of the factor or combination. Any other factor or combination. There can be great complexity in the way that scoring formulas work, and it's for this reason that they are difficult to assess. Managing your credit prudently will include the obvious, yet at times the opposite is true. In an effort to effectively manage your credit scores, always try and remember the following. Number one, have and follow a system to assure your bills are always paid on time. Number two, avoid late payments or excessive use of credit by establishing and maintaining a cash cushion to maintain your unexpected expenses or repairs. It's actually better to have a high credit limit with a low balance than to max out your cards. Never close old accounts, as the age of these can actually help. And if you shop for credit, keep it to the shortest time period possible so that multiple inquiries are not counted against you. Number four, you need to have credit experience to have a credit score, so don't be afraid to use it. Just be sure to keep it within your means. Number five, if you have established credit, don't open new accounts solely for the sake of earning a discount on your purchase, as in the long run, this can cost you much more in higher interest rates than you may have saved up front. Number six, as well, too many accounts mean too many payments, and this increases both the task of making those payments along with the possibility of missing one. If at all possible, it's advantageous for both spouses to work together in maintaining existing credit histories. There are numerous opportunities to maintain strong credit through a divorce. Derogatory credit can significantly impact not only mortgage financing options, but insurance premiums, employment opportunities, and more. Special note for women, not that I'm getting gender specific here, but this just seems to be where the case is. And one of my copywriters is a lady, so don't get upset with me. A good credit history often is necessary to get credit. This can hurt many married, separated, divorced, and widowed women. Typically, there are two reasons women don't have credit histories in their own names. Either they lost their credit history when they married and changed their names, or creditors reported accounts shared by married couples in the husband's name only. If you're married, separated, divorced, or widowed, contact your local credit reporting companies to make sure all relevant bill payment information is in a file under your own name. National credit reporting companies sell the information in your report to creditors, insurers, employers, and other businesses that in turn use it to evaluate your applications for credit, insurance, employment, or renting a home. Involving a certified divorce lending professional early in the divorce settlement agreement can help divorcing homeowners set the stage for a successful refinance of the marital home. It's It's always important to work with an experienced mortgage professional who specializes in working with divorcing clients. As a certified divorce lending professional, we can help answer questions and provide excellent advice. That is the Better Outcome segment, brought to you by mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com, and mycdlp.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to have a featured home for you, and I'm going to bring you 6 myths about marriage and credit, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
If you're listening to this program, building personal wealth is a topic you're familiar with, and you probably understand that making money is about creating a high income from a high-paying job or running a business, while building wealth, on the other hand, is about creating a stock of value that goes up over time. You've also probably noticed lately that prices for fuel, groceries, and raw materials are skyrocketing, while your monthly income remains flat. Welcome to Inflation 101. One of the fastest growing wealth building strategies is utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, like the equity in your home. Realty Pro 100 has been helping people like you increase their net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 per year. Now's the time to put your money to work for you and beat inflation. Learn more and start building your wealth by contacting Realty Pro 100. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Receive free information on how the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program works and if it's the right wealth building strategy for you. License DRE 02059058.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@ronsiegelradio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rate. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments, paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavouritelender.net, myfavouritelender.net. 1017 South Lemon Street, Anaheim. It's a Mike Kelly property right there. Mike's got this from First Team. It is an interesting property because I'm going to share with you. You have to stick with me here for a minute because it's very, very fascinating here. Again, 1017 South Lemon Street in Anaheim, 92805. Bring your tool belt, and imagination. Diamond in the Rough has endless possibilities and is just waiting for the visionary who can realize the potential. With 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a 1-car garage, this house sits on a spacious lot consisting of 6,400 square feet. The large backyard can easily fit a pool and spa and an outdoor living space located in the heart of Anaheim, close to parks, schools, and a diverse mix of local dining. The home is just a short ride to amusement parks and all the gorgeous Southern California beaches that Orange County has to offer. Here's the kicker on this one. $529,000. $529,000 in Anaheim. Who said there's no properties that are affordable in Anaheim? Let's look at some financing options on this property. Yes, it is FHA available, so you can do 3.5% down. Payment $21.20 a month. Again, that's principal and interest. 20% down, you're looking at $17.84 a month. 25% down, you're looking at $15.94 a month. That is 25% down, strategically speaking. And yes, you do have to add mortgage insurance. There's no HOA on this one. Insurance and taxes all have to be added to it. And for those of you keeping score, and I know the compliance people are, that is a 3.808 APR, 3.069 APR, and 2.854 APR, NMLS 217037. And again, for more information on the property, give me a call, 800-306-1017 South Lemon Street in Anaheim. Mike Kelly is the agent on it. Happy to put you in touch with Mike and his team. That is the Featured Home segment, brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. So we went through some items in the last segment talking about divorce. We talked a little bit about the don't take your credit for granted during divorce. So I wanted to give you a few myths that might be out there during divorce as well. And yes, I did. I know you hear me talk about divorce quite a bit. Went through a certification for divorce lending and found a lot of fascinating information in there. Why do you get a certification for divorce lending? Well, it's a simple concept. And the basis of it is that if a certified divorce lending professional, someone who really understands the intersection of family law, real estate, and mortgages, gets involved early, well, you can get the divorce settlement agreement structured in a way that's most advantageous to both parties. Now, there's a lot of times you can just get the agreement. The family lawyers, they understand the law. And we've talked last week, if you remember, about the difference between alimony, spousal support, and maintenance, and how they might sound the same to the average person, but under mortgage guidelines, they have some differences. And yes, you may be able to get a strong letter of explanation to get around those differences, but why not do it right the first time so that the underwriting guidelines from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA are all satisfied by the original divorce decree? Think about that. So now let's look at some myths about marriage and credit. Tying the knot can be one of the best decisions you make in your life. In many cases, tying the knot also means sharing financial accounts and bills. If you're concerned about how mixing your credit may impact your FICO scores, I'm going to give you some of the common myths about marriage and credit and the facts you need to know. So here is a myth. Your credit reports merge with your spouse.
What's the big idea?
That's not true. As the adage goes, love conquers all, and that can include a less than stellar credit history. But should you worry about your partner's credit history impacting yours when you marry? In short, no. Credit reports are created and stored at the individual level, not at the household level. In today's world, most people have a credit file with some level of credit established in their name prior to getting married. While you may choose to mix your finances in other ways, your credit history remains yours alone, and the same goes for your partner. In other words, if your credit history or your spouse's credit history needs some work, no one will notice by looking at the other's credit reports. The only time you'll find the same information on both your credit reports is if you open a joint credit account. While your credit reports remain separate, it is important to know that when you apply for a joint loan, like a mortgage, lenders will look at the credit reports and scores for both you and your spouse. Mortgage lenders will look at the middle FICO score across the 3 credit bureaus for both you and your spouse. The lower of those 2 scores will be used in the credit decision. Myth number 2. Changing your name gives you a new credit history. And that's not true. If you're planning to change your last name, or you already have, you may be worried about having your past credit history erased because it was linked to your previous surname. The credit reporting agencies have logic that links information together to maintain a single credit file on a person. They basically do it by looking at your social security number, and then they'll maintain it. It may take a couple of months to link files, so it's a good practice to get a copy of your credit report after you change your name and check the information is accurate. Generally, it will not be. When you apply for credit in the future or change your personal information on your credit accounts, the credit reporting agencies will add your new name to a list of name variations on your credit report. The list can also include different spellings of your name, a shortened name such as Bill instead of William, and other variations that have been reported by creditors via credit applications and account information. Myth. Your marital status impacts your credit score. Again, that is not true. Your marital status can impact certain aspects of your financial life. For example, married people tend to qualify for lower auto insurance rates because they're statistically less likely to file a claim. But when it comes to calculating FICO scores, your marital status does not factor into the equation. Next myth. You have to apply for joint accounts. Nope. While some married couples choose to apply for joint credit accounts, it's not necessary to do so. While it may make sense with a mortgage loan, for instance, it's actually good practice to have some degree of credit in your name only as a safeguard should you get divorced or lose your spouse in the future. The important thing is that you communicate with your spouse about money matters and come to a decision based on what's the best for the relationship. Next myth. Getting added as an authorized user means you are stuck. No.
You know better than that.
If your spouse adds you as an authorized user on their credit card, the history of the account will be added to your credit report. What's more, if they miss a payment or rack up a large balance, it could affect your FICO scores negatively along with theirs. But unlike a situation where you're a joint account holder, you're not liable for making payments if you're an authorized user. And once you remove your name from the account, you won't have any lingering negative impact. So that's part of it. To get removed from an account as an authorized user, you can simply contact the credit card company and ask them, remove you from the account. Once that happens, the account as well as your negative information associated with it will vanish from your credit reports. If you requested that the creditor remove you from the account, but it still reports the account information to the credit bureaus, you can file a dispute to have the trade line removed from your credit report. Next myth. You're off the hook if you get divorced. Even if you never opened a joint account with your spouse, you may be on the hook for any debt they incurred during the marriage. Community property. This is particularly true in community property states such as California, where assets and debt that are accumulated by either spouse during the marriage are considered to be owned by and owed by both spouses. They're community property also. In other states, debt incurred by only one spouse is generally considered to be debt of that spouse's responsibility, unless it was for family necessities like food, shelter, educational expenses. If you are considering divorce, consult with an attorney. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. We will put you in touch with a great attorney in your area. Bottom line, getting married can be an exciting time in your life, and merging finances is incredibly common. But when it comes to your credit, it's important to know both the myths and the facts about how your new relationship will and will not impact your credit history and your FICO scores. Again, as a certified divorce lending professional, we're more than happy to help you with getting the information you need correct. And again, mycdlp.com, or get the Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook at mydymworkbook.com. And hey, don't forget about the upcoming new home seminar. That would be Tuesday, 1 week from today, 5 to 7 p.m. Go to RonSiegelRadioEvents.com, RonSiegelRadioEvents.com, register for it, and we'll get you the link to the seminar. Again, it's totally free for you. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.